So the next thing we're going to look at is how to deal with this issue of preventing overbooking. So it's very hard to do that automatically, but we can at least put a warning on the screen if an activity has become overbooked. So what I plan to do is to count up the number of people doing the activity, display this on the main form here, and then if it's above the maximum number, display an error message underneath. So how do we go about doing that? So a couple of stages we need to go through. So number one, we need to close down this form. Now normally you don't open the subform, but in this case we're going to do a calculation on the subform. The calculation could go in the footer. We're just going to count up the number of pupils who are booked onto the activity. So to do that, we use an AB box. We draw it on here. We don't really need a label for it because the label won't display anyway. We're going to click in here and we're going to go equals count. We just have to count one of the pupil fields. So we'll count pupil ID. Now we need to name this so we can refer to it. So if I double click on this, it brings up the properties on the right here. If I go to all up the top, the name field. It's called text 16 at the minute, which is not meaningful. So let's change that to number of pupils. Just double check it now. So that's working. So just close it and save it. Now back to our main form, which is here. So in design view here, I'm now going to start drawing on some A, B boxes here to bring information across. So first AB box, just draw it on here. And in here I'm going to put in a formula. So it's going to be equals. Now I need it to refer to the values in the subform because it's not displayed. So an easier way to do this than to try and remember the formula is just to use the builder. So if I click on the outside of the AB box, then right click on it, then up the top go to build event. I'm going to use the expression builder here. Okay, that. This gives me access then to all the elements inside my database. If I click here on my Lakeside database, then on my forms plus, loaded forms plus, this is my form that I have on the screen at the minute. Just plus on that and I'll see the subform, which is here. So click on that. There's the fields in the subform, and if I look carefully, I'll see number of pupils there. So that's my field. So if I double click on this, it gives me the code to access it up above. So if I take it from here, Control X cuts it. Just okay. So I've now got the code reference that I'm looking for. Put the code in there. Equals Control V to paste it. So that's the reference for the number of pupils. So we'll put in here number booked, and we'll move that up into here, into this area of the form. Now we can tie it in with the fields that are already here. So align left, size to widest. This one here, we're just going to go size to shortest, size to narrowest. We're just going to check the alignment as well, so we'll align left. So that's given me, hopefully, the number of pupils booked on the activity. Let's test it. So in form view, you can see I've got 2 booked on there. On to the next one, I've got 4 booked on. As you can see, that's working perfectly well for me. Right, so the next thing I want to do then in design view is I want to add in another check to see if there's too many pupils booked or not. So we'll set up the formula first of all, and then we'll set up our data to see if we can get the formula to work. So another AB box, we'll draw it down the bottom again, just give ourselves space to work in. And we're going to use an if statement this time, so equals double IF, so immediate if statement I think it's called in a database. For some reason it's 2 I's at the start, so just follow the syntax. Open brackets. The first part is where we carry out some sort of test. So I'm going to look and see if the number booked is greater than the max number. And if that's true, I'm going to have overbooked appear inside the cell. Now, I've got a bit of work to do here, so I haven't told the computer yet that this new field here is called number booked, so I just need to double click. I'm in the properties again, all, it's called text 35 at the minute, so change that to number booked. So that's the name of the field that we're going to use in our formula. And then down here, I need to change this text 37 to something more meaningful. So we could just delete it and just have a simple status report under here. And we could have that appear. So it's like that. We could then put a bit of shading on it. So let's see if we use that sort of layout there, that would work fine. And then if I save that, so that's my form saved up, and I'm into here. So it's not overbooked because we don't have any of our activities with an overbooking. So we'll take our beginner's kayaking here and we'll edit it. So I'm going to change that 6 down to 4. Unfortunately, I can't make it less than 4 because there's a rule which means you can't enter a number less than 4. So this is okay still because we've got exactly 4 people booked. But if I try to book a 5th person on here, so let's try and book on Mary McNally. So I try to put Mary on, and I put Mary's booking date in there. So we'll put in the 11th of the 2nd, 24, same as above. In here, we'll change that activity paid. Yes, doesn't really matter. We're going to delete this again in a second. So when I click down here, I'd expect this then to go to 5, and I expect this then to go to overbooked. So let's see if it works. And that's absolutely brilliant, right? So it's worked really well for me. So that's a little check just to see if we're overbooking or not. I'm just going to reset my data after that test. So delete that record and change that back to 6. That's the way it was originally. So I'm just checking that it worked. Okay, have a go with that.